It's the 10th anniversary of the 2010 Winter Olympics, and you're going to be hearing a lot about legacy this and legacy that. But what is the best way of exploring a legacy? Is it by talking to people or reading reports? I say it's visiting every single Olympic legacy. A couple of ground rules. We're only going to include things in the cities that hosted Olympic events. And we're only going to include physical things that are still there that were built pretty much directly because of the Games. Of course, Vancouver is unique because there were so few new buildings constructed for the Olympics, but there were some, like the Hillcrest Center for curling, the Doug Mitchell Winter Thunderbird Sports Center for hockey. Of course, the Olympic Village was an entire residential neighborhood created from the Games. We also got the refurbished ice rink at Robson Square. And we've got the new convention center, different from the old convention center. But the place where the Olympics probably had the biggest legacy was in Whistler, where all of the outdoor events were held. Part of that was the venues, the Olympic Park for ski jumping, biathlon and cross-country skiing, and the sliding center for bobsleigh, luge, and skeleton. The biggest impact to Whistler, though, may have been the Athletes Center and Olympic Village built south of the municipality in Cheakamus Creek. The reason? After the Olympics, the entire area was given to the municipality.
Whistler has been very focused on non-market housing. That piece of land allowed us to make a huge jump forward as far as the provision of that employee housing. The Athletes Village has allowed us to continue to house our community in Whistler.
But we've also got a few quirky legacy projects by other groups to tick off as well. Like this basketball court in East Van that only exists because Coca-Cola spent $350,000 on it for an Olympic legacy. Or specially built playgrounds in Richmond, Vancouver, and Whistler. Also in Whistler, there's this passive house built by and for Austria for the Games. And a driving range that was expanded and upgraded after it was converted into a parking lot for the Games. And that's it. Every single physical piece of infrastructure legacy from the 2010, the artwork. We forgot about the artwork. And while we may not think of it the same way, a lot of the physical legacy of the Games can be found in art commissioned for it. In Vancouver alone, some have already become iconic, like the East Vancouver sign, the Olympic Village Burbs, and the Olympic Torch itself. But there's also smaller exhibits that still dot the city, like the Words Don't Fit the Picture display, aerodynamic forms in space, or the Nike statue, given to us by Greece in 2009 but only installed here in 2017 for some reason. We've also got smaller artwork in Olympic Village, more in Olympic Village, Trout Lake, Killarney Center, Hillcrest Park, displays inside Killarney Community Center, even these 3 strange lights at Kingsway at night, an Olympic legacy project. But the smallest Olympic legacy might be under the Cambie Street Bridge. It was there in 2010 that a giant sculpture was built that would change colors throughout the night. That sculpture is long gone, but the podium built for it, still here. And those are all the legacies of the 2010 Olympics, from the very big to the very small. For CBC News, I'm Justin McElroy.